Hey everyone, thank you so much for making this to this event. I'm really excited about sharing with you the vision behind the Atlantis World and how the metaverse, both banking, asset management, and all actually gamification of Web3 happens. But before we'll dive into that, I'm sure you probably see the screen share of our demo. Before we'll dive into that, I'd love to share a bit about myself. I'm Rev. I'm co-founder and growth lead at Atlantis. Before joining crypto in 2017, I've been building products in media, in hospitality businesses, and also I was creating 3D and virtual tours around Scandinavia and Europe for a year with partners like Leica and Matterport. And then I moved into Web3 in 2017, started exploring, the world of Ethereum and other blockchains, dApps, etc., and came into more professional side. By the end of 2019, I was first contributing to crypto exchange, but soon understood that that's kind of not my type of thing. So I'd love to be on the builder side in a way that building products. So I moved into asset tokenization. We tried real estate tokenization, then pivoted into social tokens and DAOs. And right now, I'm really excited to be sharing with you about Atlantis World, which we've been building for the last 8 months together with my co-founder and our fantastic team. In a nutshell, Atlantis World is a Web3 social metaverse where we're connecting, gaming, social, and education in one super lightweight, accessible, and fun environment. So here you can see our demo that we built, I think around like October last year, and that's where we also kind of closed it down, but you've probably seen the link. Anyway, you can see here a CryptoPunk token gated city, which means that you can, so you have your CryptoPunk, and your CryptoPunk, as in the future, most of the NFTs will become your in metaverse avatars. So you can walk around in a super lightweight, browser based metaverse all across any device, anywhere in the world. And you can access, native Web3 applications, such as, this is like CoinGecko Pod crypto prices dashboard. We have bank here, we have variable gallery here. We do also have some of the other cool features like arcade game building. We have spatial chat features like, I sit here on the table 3. I can speak with the people that sit on table 3 or public chats. We also integrated music from others. So long story short, this is like Web3 native metaverse, which I believe the future is going through. As we see other metaverses, there's a lot of them, a lot of beautiful metaverses like 3D, 2D, ones with VR, and coming back to the conversation about the Enzyme Finance and asset management. So if we'll go here, we see the Enzyme Finance, the network monitor. We can also see the wallet, but unfortunately, I don't have one on this wallet. So what we see here is the implementation of Enzyme Finance, right? That could be accessed by the browser on their platform. But imagine that you can have a gamified version of that, which will build. And I'm really excited to share about that as we are finalizing our grant and partnership and collaboration with Enzyme Finance, and we'll build a bank for Enzyme. Inside that bank, users and people will be able to explore both a social and technical aspect of Enzyme. The social will be, hosting events, gatherings, having multiple, spaces, including perhaps even, lounge area or co-working space for core contributors, and the space where the community can hang out, have fun, and also get to know Enzyme Finance more with, social links, with integration of the Enzyme itself, as we can see here, right, the vault. So you'll be able to, to create vault. All that you see here, you'll be able to do inside of the metaverse. And just as we haven't integrated that yet, we just started that, right? I'd love to show you how it might look like, just with examples from other integrations that we had in the past. Again, this is the demo, what we have right now in our alpha that will be coming in 2-3 weeks. It's much different. It's better UI, UX, but just for the showcasing how it could look like. So we have 3, DeFi applications, Aave, Yearn, and Balancer. Literally, you can do inside of the metaverse everything that you do on the Aave platform, etc., but in a gamified and fun way, which means that we are enabling new, I would say, use cases for billions potential users, onboarding them into Web3 in a fun, gamified, interactive, and perhaps even incentivized way that people can, learn and earn, which is the novel, implementation of what we've seen with, some of the folks that, for example, Rabbit Hole, that been building and creating, and it's really great stuff. Yeah. So in terms of the next steps, as I see, and I envision, we are moving into more and more, like the metaverse right now is the trend, and this trend will stay here. We've seen, some of the news recently, right? Microsoft acquiring Blizzard, Facebook renaming into Meta, like, and a lot of the other big companies, moving into metaverse. We already understand that's the future. We spend most of our times online. Either that's, some social applications like Telegram, Discord, or even some games. The gaming industry is 3 billion user industry, which is an incredible amount of users, to say the least. And I'm definitely sure that the next wave of crypto adoption will come through the gaming industry, as we just started to see, the Web3 and gaming, the intersection of both of these industries, exploding the growth of Web3, leading, to acquisitions, to new user bases, to new even models of interactions with, given protocols, products, dApps, and even tooling. So just so you can see here, we also have a DAO building, we have DEX building, and all of this is to just showcase that this is the future and it's coming, and perhaps it's already there. We're living in that. And I would love to go back here and see if I can answer any questions that you might have, both about Atlantis World or the asset management in the metaverse. I just wanted to kind of showcase a demo rather than just going through the slides, because I feel like if you're presenting the metaverse, like, it's cooler to present something tangible. So yeah, that was a demo. Again, we'd love to integrate, and we're aiming to integrate Enzyme. So you'll be able to use Enzyme product inside of the Atlantis and perhaps other metaverses, because we the same way that we see, the future that's multi-chain, cross-chain, the same will be within metaverses. There will be, multiple metaverses that will be accessible, that will be kind of cool in one way or another, and unique in their own implementation. Yeah. I wonder if anyone has any questions in terms of the Atlantis Enzyme Finance inside of the metaverse, or be it in 2D, 3D, pixel, or immersive environment. So it's been pretty quick meeting for me, event. Yeah, great question. So what kind of first use case gamification you can imagine in DeFi, specifically within Atlantis World? So I'll just share my screen back. That will be easier to showcase. So here, we see that for most of the users, especially non-crypto natives, right, they leverage existing banks, right? And most of them have, let's say, predatory lending practices that are kind of outdated, and we're moving on into novel new world that we're building in Web3. So we imagine and envision and actually creating onboarding processes through, like MMORPG styled quests, like learn to earn incentivized quests, where users go, and explore the map and learn about products. So if we imagine DeFi, for example, imagine you have Enzyme bank building, and then you're the new one, you're the new users into crypto. So there will be NPC, there will be guided materials for you coming to the login screen to go in, to the Enzyme bank building within the, couple of quests that you can explore around and maybe earn some reputation, earn some tokens, or some other cool implementations of gamification. And then actually, once you'll go inside of this space, for example, let's say we're going into Rarible Gallery, and you can see other implementations of that specific protocol or product that can be guided through, again, the NPC that can walk, you to, implementing or performing specific actions. For example, here we have, this is obviously implementations of NFT, but the same thing could happen with the DeFi, right? You enter a specific space. Again, that could be Enzyme bank building. You can view that. You can view in Rarible. You can buy here. And in DeFi, you can have, for example, imagine you have another example, right? We have an Aave here. Imagine you have Aave building, and you enter the Aave building, and there could be a, Aave Gotchi NPC teaching you how to use Aave in an Aave bank, like natively with their branding, with their story, which is kind of super cool and creates this sense of belonging to the brand and understanding of their story. And everything that, all the product features, everything that relates to that could be told with the story in an engaging manner that actually makes you belong to that product. Yeah, so the other question, did I understand correctly that Atlantis Universe is restricted to CryptoPunks holders? Absolutely no. So what you've seen on the demo, that was just a demo. And the reason why we decided to go with the CryptoPunks is just because they kind of started that era of NFTs and, ownership. Obviously not. We do have a lot of partners right now that are part of Atlantis ecosystem. One of them that are Perpetual Protocol, Balancer, Pull Together, POP, 1inch, Polygon, some other chains, etc. Thank you so much for great comments. What are the long-term thoughts on the metaverse? Will there be hundreds of thousands of different metaverses or a potential for a bridge between different metaverses? That's a great question. I'm actually in touch with some other metaverses, which is kind of fun when you say that as a founder, because in Web2, right, people try to compete with each other. But the way our team sees that, right, we want to enable composability even of the metaverse, right? We want to enable, portals to different metaverses. And like you said, right, there could be bridges to them, but obviously there is a tricky part of that. Let's say we're 2D pixel metaverse, and there's like 3D, there is, immersive environment, we are part metaverses. So it's tricky because there is no single standard of metaverse. Everyone builds their own unique thing. Still, we do believe that there could be hubs in each of the metaverses that we're actually exploring with some other metaverses, even at this point. And to answer your question more on the diversity of metaverses, I personally believe that there will be a lot of them. And even right now, the metaverse trend is booming. So more and more people building metaverses in one way or another. Even the game itself could be a metaverse, right? Metaverse is like multiple verses, spaces, environments, whatever. Even like let's say a Discord or Telegram or any other like social app that we're using is in a way like metaverse, but in a different, let's say it's a different type of the metaverse. So yeah, I believe that the future will hold a lot of metaverses. A lot of metaverses will, explode. But as the same as we had in 2000 with the .com boom, time will show who will survive and who will actually serve their users in best possible manner. Yeah, great question. Any thoughts on the threats metaverse faces from big companies wanting to own it without their own closed source versions? Yeah, the thing is, let's say there's a lot of people pro decentralization, right? And let's say even with that, there is companies that are kind of, I call them 2.5, Web 2.5, and they're kind of in between Web 2 and Web 3. And this is kind of a middle step between you making that leap into going fully, decentralized road. And for most of people, which if we will, be realistic, they don't need that. Like not everyone is, let's say, ready to kind of hold their, passphrase, keys and all of that, take full responsibility for their assets. For some of them, it's just easier to, delegate that to some other, trusted party. And the same will happen with the metaverses. Not all of the users care about like security or privacy side. But there's another thing that could shift that with the NFTs and ownership economy that we're kind of exploring right now, and just it's kind of just starting, right? Even like what we had with the boom of Axie Infinity, it's literally just the start of whole another era of crypto metaverse adoption. Again, as I mentioned, there's like 3 billion gamers around the world, and it's yet to be explored. And imagine that if you compare two projects, two big games, and first of them, one of them gives you the access to own your earned items within the game, to own your gaming story, your achievements, and the other one just serves, just has that on the server that at any moment can, be taken from you, or any administrator can ban you from that. I think that it won't take a lot of time for users to make that shift, especially for the gamers. And this is another thing why the metaverse is so exciting, because the core user of metaverse, if we also have in mind the gaming aspect of that, right? The interactiveness, the fun element, is the gamers themselves, who are by default the most experimental type of users that love to explore, love to interact, love to like go ahead and build things, to break things, to fight, and all of this kind of actions that are needed to make the change happen. So I'm just convinced that it's not the adoption cycle of crypto through the metaverse and gaming. It's not as far as we think it is. Yeah, thank you for your question. And just coming to the point of the kind of metaverse asset management, it's just another, it's just another step. It's like such a natural step, especially again for the gamers, because if you've been playing any game like MMORPG and you've been earning, in metaverse gold or money or tokens, whatever, it's natural to you to understand that the ownership is there, but now it's real, it's yours, it's on your wallet. Can you see metaverses like Atlantis partnering with brands for sponsorship of building something like a crypto.com stadium in Los Angeles? Yeah, I think so. The thing about metaverses, right, and brands is it's a kind of growth hacking experience for the metaverse crypto adoptions, because most of the big brands are loyal projects and companies that multi-million user base trust. And when you take that and add to existing gamified environment, it makes wonders. And especially that environment by default is social oriented, meaning you can host events, gatherings, etc., or mimic inside of that metaverse a place that people love, right? As you mentioned, maybe crypto.com stadium, or inside of metaverse, or also physical space, that could do wonders. Yeah. Thank you for your question. I see we have a minute here. I just wanted to say thank you so much, everyone. It's been a really pleasure for me to be here. If you would love to kind of get to know any other okay, I see other questions. Just a quick one. Will I be able to manage my NFT assets in Atlantis? Yep, you'll be able to do that. And the way we will be able to do that is either through some of the integrations that we might have, or eventually we might explore building some tools for that. The thing about Atlantis, and hopefully a lot of metaverses, is that you don't necessarily need to build everything. There's so much, great tools out there, such as Enzyme Finance and other DeFi, protocols, dApps, and tooling and Web3. It's better to integrate that and enjoy what's there, and you literally leverage that power of Web3 of composability, and interconnectedness.
Awesome.
Thank you.